Good morning, everyone. This is Jeff Arcos. Welcome again to the daily webinar. Today we are 30th of December 2019. Remind you, this webinar is not meant to be a financial advice. This is only an education presentation. Please consider term and condition before you continue and when you're receiving this recording as well. Thank God for another day into my life, and I pray His blessings today. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Let's start a quick review about what's going to happen. So today we start in the 30 and we come back on Friday to see what is the performance of the weekly candle close. We're going to review from the 23rd to the 27th, and it seems like right now we don't have much, and tomorrow I guess we're going to have, so the bank holidays are coming now everywhere, so that's what maybe it won't be no much really of that of issue there. On here, we were looking with the pound Australia. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There. We're looking with the pound Australia to go short, so the short got triggered until through the week it was everything okay, and pound Australia ended up in 44 pips profit because the market come back. I have to review whether I'm gonna continue to do that or not. Then we did have the pound Canadian, beautiful setup. Everything was okay until there, but the pound Canadian come back with minus 86 pips. Nothing that we can do about it. Pound Swiss ended up entering over there with a stop loss into the there, and that's ended up with a heavy, yeah, as you see here, never the market did break below to those lows, so I could not lower my stop, so just the only thing I was holding over there, and now we have a minus 100 pips into the counter. So then we did have the pound in New Zealand. Again, that was already in the break even, so that worked okay, and with the 39 pips, not much for there. And pound US, same thing. That was um, there and become with 100 pips, as I could not move over there until I don't see a break. So this is, that's the rule. So never mind. Last week it knocked us down very bad, and we'll see anyway. Pound yen, nice resistance. The market was over here, and everything with the pound is came back. After such a big drop down, you would imagine that that was, the case of it. But well, that's say that's trading, and nothing that we can do about it. Should have put it actually the midline here, or maybe it did, but it went just straight through, as the speed of that one was there. Then we did have the Euro Australia, and was a small loss. And the Euro Australia as well came up with a minus 20 for pips. So never mind, that's what sometimes is happen, and nothing that we can do about it. But just to continue looking to that. Now for this week, we got, this is now the new setup. We got the monthly, weekly. I have saved four weeks from last year, so of still 2019. So from here on, we're gonna continue running. See what happened with that. New Zealand. So if I deleted this one here, then I want to see New Zealand has a running, still quite strong running really at the moment, still in the top, and I don't see any sort of new sort of setups with the New Zealand here. So we're looking all the New Zealand pairs. New Zealand is running quite heavy as we're looking over here. There it is. Pound New Zealand just started. Australia, New Zealand still into that, and New Zealand Canadian is still going up. New Zealand Swiss is still going up, and that's the New Zealand setup. The yen. So if I look at the yen and I want to see what is happening with the yen, The yen last week has a point up, and now is on the neutral. It seems like it wants to bounce back. So we're looking from here, completely sideways, no direction. Euro yen positive, pound yen positive, Australian yen still up, New Zealand yen, of course, Canadian yen. So that's indicating me that yen is still on a weak scenario. So that strength over here has no sort of impact and effect on the weekly candle close setup. So the pound now is strong, and if we look in the pound US, we got a beautiful sort of kind of setup. If we're looking at there, uh, we have a weekly candle close up. So now when we're looking here, the pound US, I like to see always, in this kind of setups, I like to see the first fractal up. That is actually giving me, a quite interesting sort of kind of signal to say that this could be, a setup to go there. So pound US definitely will be one to look for today. And as I can see the setup over here, ready, that it is. So so yeah. So every time, for example, you're looking at setups like this, for example, that for me would be a good setup, and it's definitely here we have a fractals up, and as you see, nothing happened. Then if we continue looking to go long, so I'm looking for the first fractal up, which it was over there, and if I trigger over here, would be a stop out somewhere over there. Then the next, we're looking down, 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 fractal up, and that is the chance, and that when 600 pips on his way up. So if that is that, that's a fractal up. When the fractal start coming down, and nullify this, and I will be back in this fractal over here, looking to this direction. If I want to consider that, that's the fractal down. So this is when we like to go short. Nothing happened. If this one the same, we got the fractal down, so the market retrace. And if we're looking over there, up, 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 fractal down, and the market didn't and do nothing over there. So same with this one, fractals up, 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 fractal down. So that's always is going to be a quite nice way of looking. If this is where we are right now, and we look in the fractal down over there, that's an indication that for me we have a little bit of run. With this one, we were looking over here, so that's my fractal up. The weekly is on a very nice proportion. And at the moment, once the market breaks those fractals like this, I stop looking to go long. So the long become again active when we have that fractal over here. And that's the run over there. So there's the weekly. And here, that was my last fractal before that. And that's the entry. That's the stop loss. And then I would be break even. Otherwise, it would be running from here. So that one there, if I look for the fractals, so that was up, 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 fractals down, and yeah, it went through nowhere over there. If I look to there, and I try to look entry over there, maybe got triggered, maybe yes and no. Um, Nothing would be much of the change. Still going up. That one over here is a quite clear signal of fractals breakout, and from there we can see that in this case it did work at the end of the day. Okay, so the pound US cut a fractal up, so that is actually quite interesting what it is at the moment. Pound yen, same. So pound US and pound yen normally is the same thing. The fractal is up over here. We don't look euro pound anyway. Pound Australia doesn't show any strength. Pound Canadian, don't know. When we're looking here. Pound Canadian, we do have a fractal up, so it's gonna be interesting the 4 hours fully break out from there, whether that could be a good signal of the market going up. Pound New Zealand, no hope yet. Pound Swiss, we're looking, this is a significant fractal. This one is just not very important fractal. They're showing up. So, oh, we were looking here. We're not supposed to be looking over there. We're supposed to be looking over here, the weekly, sorry. So that was a wrong mistake. The pound is actually right over there in the weekly. So on Australia, so we looked at yen already, and Australia is positive. So looking for Australia. My fingers are not very good. So there it is. So last week came down, kept up over there. The previous now is a strong week. So that is telling us that Aussie has already, and he's running up. Is running up in the Euro Australia is running down. That's why we were looking to entry. Pound Australia is running down. Australia and New Zealand is both at a strongs at the moment. Aussie Canadian, maybe yes, maybe no, and Aussie Swiss, there we are. Okay, and that's it. So sorry here. So then we got the US, and we're looking at the US on a negative side, and went up, came back, and came back to the same level over here. So this may be a pullback only. We don't know, but we put it over here, and there we are. So market is continue on his there with fractals. We have breakout. So from there, we look in the euro. That's the first week, so that would be a quite cool, and that's what I mean. Last week just exploded up, so there we are. Okay. The pound, now the pound makes sense to get that one into charge here. It's already running. New Zealand is already done. US Canadian is coming down, and US Swiss is down, and the US yen is nowhere over there. So there we are. And Canadian is weak, as the US it is. And just went up, came back, not really much. So seems like the US is weaker than the Canadian. Canadian yen, it doesn't look with the yen weak. Euro Canadian, yes, possible here, which shows strong. And there we are. Pound Canadian, maybe now. We've got a fractal over here. And that's it. So yeah, as I said, things, will not be, I think the top five is more than enough that we can see. So, one thing I see now with the US is just market pull. The market came back, and there we are. Now this we see that is already in a trend, as the market is already has very clear. Is the second time in the trend. The market has break, has pulled back, break, and now pull back again, and now we have that. So first target, normally that's when normally we testing those ones there. and last year it was not really a whole year. It was very, very bad. So now at least it's moving, doing lower highs and lower lows. So that's important to see in here. Okay, so that it is the dollar, and yep, we need to get the code from here to there. That's actually precisely in the level over there. So target number one could be interesting. Okay. Well, that would be the whole thing. I mean, here is just to look at there, and then from there that it is. I remember the one of the good ideas that a couple years ago it was about trading the weekly, and I think the first time we trade the weekly, we have to, first of all, if it is the first week, just to trade the breakout, but then otherwise, what for the pullback? That works quite okay. Um, if we're looking at this way, let me put this in the should I? Should I? No, yeah, maybe yes. Um, there. Okay, and this is the 4 hours, and this has to be the daily. This one has to be up, and this one is zooming a bit more. There we are. So if we look in the dollar over here and the dollar over there, we you know one thing I was looking always through here, that when we have the sort of kind weekly like this ones, is it, and then the daily comes and match the tray, and this is the 20. So we look, let's see, the 30. You know, that's a good thing. Now, once the market runs, I always said, is the daily pullback always will be activated a new entry. In this case, this is the way it is. So if this one is an entry over there and nothing that happens, so the market now is running to the direction of the weekly that is here. Where I find an example, there it is. So um, I think it was 2017 when, or the beginning 2019 when we said that the best setups always is going to be a weekly down and day up, because they are becomes the best setups ever. All right. Sometimes you're gonna miss good runs, but I think that if we, for example, we trade in that weekend, we want to be triggered from there. In this case, it didn't. The stop loss has to be very, very close because the market can come back. But when the market retraces like this one, and we have a week down and day up, you remember that was a quite nice. And from here, you can actually say, "Yep, this is what I'm wanting over there." When we have a day up like this one, and what we want to see from here is there a week up, day down, and that's the best setups trading that you can actually find into this. And from that moment there, because normally not all the time, the market tends to take you over there, and then you have to exercise big stop losses from that moment on. All right. So if we trigger right at the beginning of the week, which is in this case, this is right there, our stop loss has to be very, very, very small. You can't, entertain big stop loss because you're already trading in something that is running. Okay, and the best way to to do is to wait for this pullback, and from here, you say, yep, I'm looking the week up, week down, day up, and there we are. And the market just went completely up, came back, and right now, this is Friday, you know, right at the beginning. If I come uh, for 12 hours over there, you know, don't know, by Friday, anything could happen because things didn't work really the proper way. Um, that's what I mean now here. So if we're looking over there, that's the beginning of the day. So right over here, your stop loss has to be close because you're not waiting for the retracement. The market is already running. So if your entry is over there, your stop loss has to be, you can entertain 40 pips. It has to be 20 at least, and if the market moves, 30, you got to be in a break even because this can be, very, very tricky at the end of the day. So let's look at another example from here that it can give us there. So there are two ways really to look this. They can help us to when to activate the EA. For example, that's the first week over here, and this is what this week we did. Because the market is already running, our stop loss has to be immediately over there, and yes, the market, and if the market moves, you got to be in the break even straight away because the chances of coming back are great. So then, we went in through the week, a day up, weekly down, day up, and that's when we can activate the A quite confidence, knowing that things can really rock up from that moment over there. So if this is the weekly up, so as we see over there, so in this case, the first it didn't come back, so it's just continuing his strength in from here there. Stop loss very small. In this case, it did work over there. So that's a weekly up, and this is the nice setups that sometimes will present it itself following the weekly candle close. And inside over here, well, the date is not quite good, but if we're looking at that day, and the date at the moment the weekly is up, the date is down, that's when you activate the E8, and that's it, and leave it over there because nothing more it can be done, and this is quite good. That weekly is down, so what we wanting over here, and as you see here, uh, it didn't present an opportunity, but that was the opportunity. So right over there on a day up, come over here, and that was our entry. Now, another good thing it was the 1 hour time frame in that because with the 1 hour time frame, actually you will get sort of kind of entry. So here I would not put a trailing stop because of that, but I will be looking, for a better entry, knowing that the weekly is down, the daily is up. So we got an ABC, and then we gotta get to that level of surprising the market with that. So the first one is just to trade whatever the market is telling me. For example, over there. So that's the first one over here. But my stop has to be very, very close. So as soon the market move even 30 pips, it has to be break even because the market can come back. But once the market does this, then it's another issue. Then we can relax it because we got the string pull up, so we can see that from that moment and the first week we can have success over there. If we're looking in here, so it's already 2-3 days on the running up, and what we if we did the trade and at the beginning of that, uh, actually that's exactly the day. So here is presenting as a quite nice setup. So this is the setup, the preferred setup that we want to be looking for, And here, we don't have problems to say, okay, yeah, I'm risking whatever it is. I just wanted my entry into the right place, and then change into the 4 hours. I don't know if we can put it a 4 hours chart over here. Let me see, chart at the moment, and what I will not be like it is, yeah, it went through here. So let's put this one and this one, and take it off this one, which it will be there. So this is, we're gonna put this one in the 4 hours, and because what I'm looking is the trailing stop with this one, but in here what I'm gonna be looking only is the um, um, so 906, I have to put it back again, otherwise this next one and will know, and then I need to be looking this one. I did. So 9, there you are. So what I'm looking over there, so if this is, that's my perfect entry that I'm looking, so that's right in the 4 hours time frame. So what I want to get an entry over here, but I wanted the trailing stop there over here, and these perfect setups that I'm looking for. All right. So we're looking at this one, and on here we see already running. So what I want in from there, yes, I wanted the entry over here. So I guess when we don't have the retracement over there, we can maybe, use this as my stop loss. And as soon the market moves, we gotta be into protective, because we don't have the pullback. We cannot relax until the pullback is not in place. That's all I say to you. So here, normally move 1 day, and that's precisely on the weekly that we have right over there, and we come back over here. So that's a weekly up, but everything seems like nothing happened through there. And if we're looking right over there, I have what I'd really like to see, you know. So, and right over here, I want to enter. We got a weekly up, we got a day down. All right. Now, I prefer to enter over there. So then I know my stop, will be some there. But my entry will be very aggressive compared to the 4 hours over there. And then, of course, after the market moves, you can move your stop loss to break even, and then nothing has happened from there. Now here we got a quite classic example of what I'm looking to do that. So we got a sort of kind of, the market is coming down, the weekly is not going up over there. And we have, already a day up and a thing down over here, all right? And we see that in the four, and here, we're looking our entry over there, um, because of the pullback, and right over there, we have what I call, the perfect setup. Let's see the first one, sort of kind of failed. It comes over here, and then we get a stop out. That's fine. But what is interesting is the next day over there. So when I see a weekly down, a day up, and this, that's when I want to make sure I'm looking that they activate my EA. And again, and I don't know, maybe could be both of them the 30. And right over there, I want to be, very conservative and activate the EA right in the right place. And now here I can relax. I can say, okay, I can, as you see, the one now dips inside, then this one possible, it takes few days, if this one would be entered over there, which is, you see, is a quite nice 86 pips of advance. But that was a quite nice strategy, if you remember, to try to get the pullback. The only problem we did have is the pullback sometimes did not happen and we missed the run. So I believe if the pullback, if we at the beginning of the week are so strong and we want to enter, we need to decide it, to say, no, I'm going to be entry without the pullback, but my stop loss will be very conservative. All right. But once the pullback is happening, then we can relax because then we know that is it. So that's another one over here. And if we're looking, okay, the market is up and, depending on the index meter as well, but, nothing is happening over there, neither the 4 hours or the 1 hour. So quite the market, went down over there. If I said, okay, this is up, okay, I activate the E8 over there, as you see through the whole week, now when I have a retracement, I'm expecting after that retracement the market going up. I don't expect this. So if the market does this, I'm not trading anymore that weekly strength because the market is actually not going the direction. So that's another things that we need to change the way we're looking that. All right. So that's that. That's a weekly down. Now, what is beautiful over there is that we already got what we're looking for right at the beginning of the week. Sometimes it's going to happen, sometimes it's not going to happen. But right over here, we got a weekly down, we got a day up, and that day we can actually activate the E8 from there. And I want to keep this one for I can follow the trailing stop. I don't want to be a stop out very soon because I want to get on that. So if here I have that they say, yeah, I like it over there, gonna be triggered, so I can measure my stop loss of 70 pips. Let's see, say there. So by the next day, it's 50. The next day is nearly zero, and once I'm a break even, then I can follow this guy. And this is, as you see over here, we could have followed once a week, 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 and once a week, and then get that move that we're looking for one simple week. If this is there, here we can make the decisions to say, yeah, okay, I want to be very conservative there. The market is already 1, 2, 3, 4 days, so we don't have a retracement. We're anxious to enter over there, so we decide to pull the trigger, but our stop will be very small, and then you would be out of that trade in the same day. All right, so that's fine. But then from the moment we're waiting for that retracement over here, and I'm expecting weekly up, day down. I'm expecting to going up, but the next day, if we're looking over there, the market now continue in his run down, and that's when I can consider maybe it won't go anywhere over here. So I don't have an entry now. I'm chasing, the market, and if I decide to entry, I would be holding that position and maybe having a small loss at the end of the day. Okay, so let's review one more and to say goodbye for the new year. And that it is, what is New Zealand, for example, is something that possible has moved on these times over there. So we got the weekly candle close over there. So that's our weekly candle close setup. We got right over here the first week of down around, and that's the setup. So we got there, and we got over here. So we got the weekly up, we got the day down, and actually the entry could be right over here. So we decide that and the market continue, and then this one is been running quite okay from there. If this is my entry normally there, so this is the market is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I want it when the market retrace, so that's a retracement over there, and I want it weekly down, day up, and I want in that retracement. So if I get over here again, it has to be a very small stop loss because oh sorry, here I would get maybe the loss 50 pips from that one there. We got a weakling up, and if I'm looking at right over there, and that's what, Monday mornings normally sometimes it's good idea to wait a little bit there. But if we go trigger, and again, this is already running for a few days with the weekly app, so we got to be careful to activate or not to activate the EA at the beginning of the day. But when the market does this is when I want to, have hope, and I say, yep, now I can activate the EA from here. I have no problems to trust this setup because of what I see over there. Weekly up, day down, and here in the 1 hour I can set up that EA with no problem. But the next day the market, instead of continue, it just collapse, so it's going completely against the weekly, and I would have no problems to say, okay, nothing has happened from there. Here it was a bit sort of kind of dodgy scenario, not really there. So let's look from there. And if we're looking at right over here, so here we need to make the decision that the market, there's the weekly exactly. So the market is already running, and this is where sometime if we wait for the pullback and the pullback doesn't happen, we can miss sometime the run. So if we just say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be risking this. Let's see, this is on my top list of what I'm looking. I'm gonna be trading from there. The market is knowing that the best entry, but it is already there. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna set up over there a stop loss, something that it will protect me over here. So maybe 30 pips. I think it should be more than enough. And once it's that one running, then the weekly can take over, and it just didn't perform much. If the weekly here is presenting us for an opportunity to entry, we see that through here nothing has happened, and maybe that was a setup over there. Weekly up, day down, setup over here, and here maybe it would be triggered, but that would be another 30 pips into the loss. First week up, first week down, we got over here, and we need to make sure that our risk over there, it will be quite acceptable. So that's at the beginning of there. So we see that already we're running few days down, and then we need to make sure that our risk is quite acceptable over there, which is actually here we see that the market it did, and the direction of what we see over there. Okay, so that's it. So that's was a very good strategy, but we sometimes we get disappointed with that because we did not have the pullbacks. So I think at the beginning, when the pullback is not happen, we can use the 1 hour. But once the pullback is there, we can now monitoring that that um, that one there. All right, so that for me would be the day for today, and nothing more. I will make the list for um, for the chats for this week, and I will see you on Friday, which will be 4, I think it is. Where is my calendar? I can't see. Third of January to 2020, and we wish you a happy new year, and take care. Cheers and bye.